Congratulations on your new documentary, 7 Beats per Minute.
Thank you so much. Thank you for watching my film. I'm looking forward to your questions and really just hear what you think of the film.
Well, let me congratulate you first because it is such an accomplishment to finish a documentary and have people to watch it. But it's also more of a congratulations that is being showcased at South by Southwest, one of the most prestigious film festivals in the world. How do you feel about that?
I feel very excited. This is my second time returning to South by Southwest. I know the festival pretty well. Last time I was at the festival with my first film, Through and Through. I arrived the first day. I left the festival at the very last day. And I feel like a South by Southwest is like a homecoming to me with this film that I made in after leaving South by Southwest. I started making this story, and it's been 5-6 years, and it's a long journey for me to go back again. And what I remember of South by Southwest, it's a lively festival. It's a heavily in this whole city almost like celebrates the festival together, and it's not just the filmmaking, it's many other aspects. And as a filmmaker, I felt much more closer to the audience at South by Southwest, which is perfect for this story because I feel 7 beats per minute, it's really a story to connect, and my goal is for people to connect. So I'm really excited for 7 beats per minute to live and breathe with the audience in Austin.
Most excellent. So, Yuqi, tell us what sparked you to make this documentary in the first place?
In the first place, it's really my personal interest in the idea of ocean and really like on the grand scale. Well, where does what's meaning for our lives? Where is our lives comes from? And I read a book about freediving and oceans, and all life originated from the sea. That's why when our body emerge back into the ocean, and we have like this natural diverse reflex, and the babies are like soaked in the seawater in the mother's womb. Something like with the element of ocean always draws my fascination. That's why I decided to learn freediving myself and pursue a subject matter in freediving.
So, for those people who don't know or haven't watched the film yet, how do you describe free diving?
I think freediving is that journey. You take the breath before you dive into the ocean, and then the breath you take after you came up of the surface to recover. So it's that pretty much that journey between life and death in a way. It could wrap up the whole entire life journey in one singular dive and feel very intensified as a human that existed in this moment.
Now, as a filmmaker who was interested in free diving, before I get to the actual subject itself, did you try to do free diving yourself, and how far did you manage to get?
Yes, I took a month training program to learn freediving myself, and my personal best is 29 meters. It was definitely, I felt I went to my maximum depth. It was very dark. The pressure on the chest was very heavy. It felt like my bones about to break, and it was very cold. And just like the feeling is intensified in a very otherworldly wise, and that really pushes me to that question, like what kind of people dives like beyond this point, because the pressure and the temperature and the dark, they really gets like each drop meters of drop gets more intensified, and those like competitive free divers dives beyond 80, 60, 100 meters. That's something I cannot imagine I would do myself.
So in the end, was it exhilarating and rewarding, or did you just scratch your heads thinking, well, why did I did that?
I think like just like right that moment, every moment when I came out of the surface, there's something very like euphoric with the freediving that puts you through that deep meditative state. It's definitely like a good experience with each dive, but then like going back again, like knowing like I will experience that intensified lack of oxygen, like urge to breathe. I feel hesitant going back. I can feel like hesitant going back, knowing if I'm diving 20 meters beyond. So I can definitely tell like I'm not made to be a competitive freediver in there.
That's why your full-time job is a filmmaker. So, Yuchi, tell us, I don't want to mispronounce her name, how you found Jessea and convince her to be a part of your project, 7 beats per minute.
Mhm. Jesse is a well-known figure in Asian freediving world. She's one of the top Asian freedivers that's on the international scale. So I've known of Jesse just as an amateur diver myself, and when I started to set the mind making a freediving documentary, I actually went through a list of people just getting on a Zoom call, have a phone call to see if there's any kind of a connection or for me to feel like there could be a person that I could tell a story about. And Jessie was one of them that I reached out through social media. She happened to be in China, so I just met her in person the next day. And something about our age and our backgrounds, and now like to know like even like our experiences, really just instinctually clicked in me that she could be the person that I, as a storyteller, could tell her story. And I don't feel like it was like a really like too much to convince Jessie. I told her, so look, I have an idea of making a freediving documentary. I'm interested in follow you for a year for a competition cycle. If that's something you would be open to, and right away she like during our conversation in the first meeting, she invited me back to her home in Hawaii, and we started that project just that way.
So you immediately gained Jesse's trust right off the bat for this documentary. So there were, she seems very open about telling her story, despite the incident that actually happened a long time ago.
I think Jesse's a very independent, hyper independent person. Something I think it's a process for her, for both of us that we're both very private and closed off in a way where this like unique format drives me to meet Jesse, and something clicked in both of us. It was a mutual access from her, from me to her, from her to me, that created this bond and trust for her to be able to relate all her experiences in that way. But I definitely felt, as Jessie said, when she had that accident, it evoked something in her herself. So she's more comfortable than I am to explore a lot of topics. That was surprise to me.
Now, you raised the question in your own documentary, because as you were filming it, you started to develop this friendship with Jesse. Tell us about that relationship with her and why you were very, very concerned about getting too close.
I have a documentary education background, so like the first few things we learn or we keep in discussion is the ethical standard for a non-fictional storyteller, and I'm always aware of that. And with all my approach to nonfiction, it's so far has been character driven. In a way, I always had an access to the person or the people in my stories. So that's something I have been thinking constantly. If there's no me and the camera, would the person's life be impacted, or would this happen unfold right in front of me? And being with Jessea for this long, I definitely realized me following Jessea with my crew or just myself has definitely shifted the story or changed the dynamic, and that's something inevitable. I'm not just a fly on the wall that really has brings no impact to her life. I want to address those head on and not hiding behind the camera, creating that illusion that nothing making this story has not has an impact on Jesse's life and on the story.
You know, as a viewer, I didn't think that you had too much of an impact. I think she always intended what she wanted to do. But did you have what did you have regrets you would have done something differently, or you would have stayed what you actually had for this film?
I think it's a journey to discover. I don't have any regret. I definitely learned that to slowly chip away that my walls with Jessea, and it's really her openness really let go of my own ethical wall that I initially just set for myself. And I felt creatively opened a door that I wouldn't dare to think of before. And but I think I have to have that journey, come in as a non-fictional storyteller, have those mental walls myself to be taken down and to see how far I could have accomplished as a storyteller through this like long 5 years journey with Jessea.
That is a very long journey. And do you still have a friendship with her today?
Yes, we're very. I think that when you go through experiences like this with somebody, it creates a bond that's outside of the documentary or the purpose of we made this film project. We mutually grow together, and something that we shared, like it's something hard to call what we have. She feels like a family member to me that I created outside of my blood families, and we talk month to month or on weekly basis. And she's coming to South by as well, and I'm very excited.
I'm very excited too. On a different subject, tell us about filming in the Bahamas, particularly near the Blue Hole. Was that were there any challenging feats for yourself as a filmmaker?
It definitely is. Many of the locations the freedivers go are very remote. Just in that sense, like we took many connecting flights to even get to that island. And once we're on that island, there's really nothing else besides diving site. It's a island of one road, and the road gets us to the Blue Hole. And something really spiritual about all the divers that takes that long journey without much financial gain to just go there to free dive. And for us, just as the team, I think like the nature element was always something interesting and challenging for us to day, what kind of weather we're getting, what kind of underwater condition we're getting, just like dealing with the same thing the freedivers dealing every day with the mother ocean.
I can't imagine. I've been to the Bahamas, and I didn't even know that the Blue Hole even existed. So that must have been quite a sight for you to actually see and to be in the blue hole to do a little bit of filming.
Yes, I think once we open to that idea, this is the environment. It's a like a very out in the world environment. Then it opens up that gift. It's an incredible dive site. There are many like things existed within the blue hole, and just like seeing that hole, diving into the blue hole myself daily, it was something that I feel like I wouldn't be able to do if I wasn't making this story. It's the definitely like the water in the Bahamas. It's just something I want to bring into the film and show it to the audience.
And you most certainly did. So Yuqi, can you tell us what's up next in your filmmaking career? More documentaries down the road?
Definitely, I think making Jesse's story that opened a door of curiosity for me for mental wellness and therapies, and I'm looking for a story in that big subject matters and trying to find what will be my approach next. And last year I made a short fiction. I think also with what this story inspired me. I'm making a fictional story about a mother and a daughter. So I'm definitely taking what I've learned from this project and going into the both ways between fiction and nonfictions.
Most excellent. Well, let me wrap it up with one last question, because audiences will have a chance to watch 7 Beats Per Minute at South by Southwest, and hopefully more festivals and more chances to watch your documentary down the road. When people watch this film and they walk out, what is the most important take you hope they walk away with after viewing your film?
I think the most important take for me is what this making this story did it to me. It felt like a key that opened a window. When I have that window open, it was a whole nother side that I have not seen and experienced. And it's a long way for me to discover, looking into that window, what it meant for me, for my own spiritual or my own personal journey, for healings or for what I can discover. And I hope the audience can have that key to open a window through Jesse's journey to find something for themselves, to see something for themselves.
Well said. Well said. Yuqi, thank you very much for speaking to us about 7 Beats Per Minute. It is a fascinating story, and I want to say it's beautifully shot too. So it's very captivating. So hopefully we get to do this again down the road.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time with my film.
Hey, thank you. Bye now.